Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm your host Chris Davis, and today we're going to talk about Jussie Smollett. So Jussie Smollett was in the news recently, and he was in the news because he was released from jail by posting a $150,000 bond. His legal team has decided to appeal the court's sentence. The sentence happened less than a week ago, and it involved a 30-month probation involving 150 days in jail, paying $120,000 in restitution to Chicago, and a $25,000 fine for making a false report about being a victim of a hate crime. Now, when Jussie Smollett was released from prison to appeal the court sentence, his legal team had a press conference. And in this press conference, they made a lot of arguments that didn't hold up. They went off on different tangents that really didn't help Jussie Smollett's case. They didn't prove that that the court made a mistrial. They didn't prove that Jussie Smollett was innocent. Jussie Smollett is still convicted for making a false report about being a victim of a hate crime. Now I'm going to play a little bit of the press conference right now. I'm not going to play the whole thing because the whole thing is too long for this video. I'm going to play a little bit from CBS. I'll have the whole video in the description below. With that being said, let's watch a little bit of the video.
Thought this was over, that this case was behind us. Not so fast. Jussie Smollett posted a $150,000 bond after serving 6 of his 150-day sentence in jail. His legal team obviously elated tonight that he will not be behind bars as he waits out his appeal. Jussie, anything you want to say for yourself? Tonight, flanked by security, Jussie Smollett didn't say a word as he walked free from the Cook County Jail into a waiting SUV. It comes less than a week after Cook County Judge James Lynn sentenced him to 150 days in jail. Tonight, Smollett posted a $150,000 I-bond. A Court of Appeals judge agreed with Smollett's attorneys that the actor shouldn't wait his appeal behind bars. Attorney Nenye Uche described the moment he told the actor that he'd be released.
He pushed his hands on the glass, and his eyes got teary, and I've never seen that because he's been very strong in there. And he said, "I nearly lost hope in our constitutional system." And he did say that. And that was his reaction. He was shocked. I think he had nearly given up. I can't speak for him. You would have to ask him that question. But just looking at him, a human to another human, put in a cage for a class 4 felony. Shame.
Uche also criticized the special prosecutor's decision to charge Smollett again after the initial charges were dropped by Cook County State's Attorney Kim Fox, and Smollett paid a fine.
Is it right for a person to be punished twice? You know? And I'm gonna say, is he getting all this attention because he accused 2 white men?
During his 6 days in jail, Smollett's team says he didn't eat.
He's been drinking ice cold water. Ice water. That's been his food and liquid.
Is this a protest? What's the...
Charlie, if you were in jail for something you didn't do, would you eat or would you be I don't know.
Now, the special prosecutor in this case, Dan Webb, filed a response of his own tonight, saying that some of the claims that Smollett's legal team has made, specifically that that his health and safety is at risk in the jail, were factually incorrect. We are live tonight from the Cook County Jail. Charlie DeMar, CBS 2 News. Brad?
Charlie, our appreciation. Let's now bring in CBS 2 legal expert Irv Miller. 1,000 things could happen here, Irv. That said, do you think Mr. Smollett will be behind bars again in this case?
Well, if he is, because the appellate court disagrees with this appeal, it probably won't be for a year or two before that sentence comes back, assuming they don't overturn the sentence as well. Or if he violates his probation, because he's technically still on probation, that would end up in jail as well.
Okay, so maybe, and it could be years. His legal team put many parties on blast tonight in their press conference you saw live on CBS News Chicago, from the media to the judge. Did Smollett's lead counsel, any of his arguments hold water tonight?
He made a lot of arguments, not only tonight, but he made a lot of arguments in court as to why his client's rights were violated and why it shouldn't be a guilty verdict. The only issue that I think has some merit to it, and I'm not saying it's going to go this way, but whether or not when Kim Fox dropped the case in exchange for a fine and basically some hours of community service, did that involve the due process clause? Were his due process rights violated? This case was so unique into how that was handled that I think our appellate court could go either way, saying yes, because she did it the way she did it, it violated his rights, or it's harmless error, didn't violate his rights, and the second trial was totally legit.
Okay, a constitutional conundrum. Irv Miller, our thanks tonight. We will surely.
Okay, so you all watch the video for yourself, so you all see what I'm talking about. Jussie Smollett has still been convicted of making a false hate crime. His legal team didn't show or give any evidence that Jussie Smollett was innocent and that the court made a mistake or a bad decision. They just went off on these different tangents that really don't hold up. Like the legal team was saying, it's racist for a black man to go to jail for a class 4 felony. And if you look at the whole video, they were talking about how the media didn't do their due diligence and how they only chase sensationalism. But none of this is really helping Jussie Smollett's case and proving that he was innocent. This story has gotten so much attention because of Jussie Smollett and the whole political nature of the incident. So when Jussie Smollett reported that he was a victim of a hate crime, which is false by the way, but when he reported it, there was like two groups in America. You had people who were sympathetic to him and took his side, and then you had people who were skeptical of his story. Now, the people who were skeptical of his story, they were criticized as being racist and being a bigot. And the skeptical side was trying to tell everyone that, hey, his story doesn't add up. But when it came out that Jussie Smollett made the whole thing up, you had both groups being mad at him. The skeptical people were mad that people were criticizing them about not being sympathetic enough. But they also feel vindicated because they were right. And you have the sympathetic people being very upset because they had taken his side. So you have both groups who want Jussie Smollett to go to prison. And what I got from the legal team was that what I got from Jussie Smollett's legal team is that he doesn't deserve to go to jail for what he did. He doesn't deserve to go to jail for making a false report about being a victim of a hate crime. That's what I legitimately get from it. And the arguments don't hold up because what Jussie Smollett did, it affected a lot of people. It affected his show Empire. It affected like the whole nation. You had politicians and other celebrities weighing in on it. So you really can't say that he doesn't deserve to go to prison for what he did. It just doesn't make any sense. And the legal team that made the press conference, their arguments don't hold up at all. So that's all we have for today. If you like what I had to share, please hit the like button, hit subscribe. That really helps me out. Also, let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys next time.